Hello friends, Sam and Graham, doing TCGs yet again, here with my first case of high C's and my Nationals weekend Vegas debrief. So, I've talked about how I was going out to Vegas, doing the whole... Okay, here's something interesting I didn't know either. Well, that's fascinating. Okay, I'm going to have to show you what I'm talking about. We're going to do one case here. I didn't realize we had different box art this set, too. We've got a puffin backs and 3 gravy boxes. I doubt that actually matters any, but it's kind of neat. So, Nationals release weekend for high C's on top of that. Just all kinds of shenanigans going on this weekend. Got to meet several people that I only knew online. Got to meet a few people that I hadn't known or heard of really before, or whose names I'd seen, but I didn't really know anything about them. Tell you who stands out in my mind, and I'm not even going to try pronouncing his last name, is Daniel B. We were in a draft pod together for Nationals on Friday. Gold pack, yay. And then he made a point. He saw me and came and sat down and talked to me for several minutes on Thursday during the calling, which I did when I didn't do so great in the Nationals. I say I didn't do so great. Let's clarify. I did not make day 2. So that was really, that was kind of my goal. I really wanted to make day 2. But, Jack Me Nimble, love it. I landed, but for CC and draft combined, I landed a 4-4 record. Which ultimately isn't so bad. And now with doing pre-release and that, preach modesty, sure. And Nationals, I'm kind of already past the commons and uncommons. If y'all want me to slow down at some point, let me know, and I'll see what I can do. But Daniel beat Brule. I apologize. I said I wasn't even going to try. I did. If I butchered it, I apologize. But, chart the high C's, sure thing. But I met him. He came, made a point of talking to me again the next day. Just was a neat experience there. Chart the high C's. Like I say, plus other people that I already had interacted with. Either, some of my locals are into. People that I knew through various Discords. But Daniel was the new person that I had not really known beforehand that made, I would say, the biggest sticky fingers positive impression on me. So thank you for that. It meant a lot. So let's see. What else we got? So yeah, I ended up 4-4, which, like I say, certainly not what we were hoping for, but for my first time at any big event, I did better in Nationals than I did the calling. Granted, the calling was, high C's sealed, and I've come to grips. I'm starting to think that while I really enjoy limited, I don't think I'm really good at it. For the Nationals draft portion, I drafted what's his name? Gravy Bones. That didn't go super well. So my mantra for sealed the next day was anything but gravy bones. Funny enough, then I had a pretty solid, I had, at least of the common and rare allies, I had my pick of them. So it was super tempting to go back on that statement and play gravy bones from the sealed. I didn't. I went puffin. And so two things about puffin. A, I really like puffin. B, I think I like puffin better than gravy bones. I just had a really good time playing puffin. And especially I ended up playing multiple puffin mirror matches. And I thought the mirror was a ton of fun. So that's kind of where all that landed. I went 2 and 4 and dropped in the calling. They said that technically, anyone with only 2 losses made day 2. Ooh, Palantir Aeronaut, sure. But, oh snap, what a pack. Okay. Gold baited hook for a foil legendary this box. Absolutely. And a Palantir Aeronaut, which looks awesome. Destroy a defending card. Don't mind if I do. So yeah, I decided I like puffin. Well, this is already a really solid. This is a really solid box. Okay. And Burn Bear, we got us another Majestic. We're hitting Majestics pretty hard and crazy here. But that gold baited hook, that's pretty nice. That seems to be a pretty necessary gravy bones item. Not item, you know what I mean. Ruby Amulet, okay. Chart a course. Ruby Amulet for yet another Majestic. So, yeah, I did pretty bad in the draft portion, I guess is what I was getting at there. I went 0-2, and so this is the part where I tell you I embrace technicality. I went 0-2, and then I guess somebody else in my pod dropped that I would have been matched up against in round 3. So I was assessed a bye, which is a win. So I was 4-4. I will embrace that technicality. I hit the point where I was like, look, I just want to get to 500. I just want an even record. Let's see what we can do. And so I was super happy to land with that in the end. 3-2 on constructed. Yeah. I was honestly, that was almost exactly the record I was expecting on constructed. I was hoping to squeak out a 4-1. We'll talk about some of that here in a second. But obviously that did not happen. It is what it is. Oh, one more thing about the calling though. So I played a bunch of great people in the calling, but one of the mirror matches, I sit down. I doubt he'll mind me saying names on here. I'm like, so I'd seen this name associated with Flesh and Blood here and there. And I'm like, oh, Jake Bros. And if I'm pronouncing that wrong somewhere, if the last name is pronounced somewhat differently, I apologize. Another big game trophy shot, absolutely. I'm like, because I used to play other games. Star Wars Destiny comes to mind in particular, with a person by that name in Middle Tennessee. And so it's just like, I've seen this name about. And so then the person walks over and sits down, and I'm like, okay, I'm pretty sure this is the dude. And right before I'm about to ask him, did you used to live in my town? do you go by Graham? Because I'm in Samuel in the gem system, and I'm like, yep. So he recognized me too, and we had that was just a great time. One of those awesome fool's gold, small world moments where we just got to catch up. Hadn't seen each other in years, so that was a lot of fun. But yeah, the 3 and 2 constructed in Nationals. The issue there was round 1. An issue there was round 1. Kano. I got very, very Kano'd. Well, that's the end of box 1. That was a heck of a box 1. We got what? 6 Majestics. Less than I thought I was counting. But some good ones. That Palantir and the Big Game Trophy Shot. And a gold baited hook. We'll say, nah, you know what? Let's do the gold packs with their boxes too. There's a golden cog. Ooh, there we go. Right off the rip, we get the fancy Polycranka with our golden cog. That's awesome. Okay, A+. We're in this thing now. All right, box 2. Holy cow! Yeah, I'm happy with that. A Marvel Polycranka right off the rip. I know a friend of mine is hoping that I will see a Marvel Gravy, so we'll see what we can get for him as well. But yeah, literally, so my opponent went first. Did a little bit of setup, like nipped at my health a little bit, admittedly. But hey, Adult Marlin. Oh, are they not majestic anymore? That's fascinating. Okay, cool. Well, I'm happy with that, actually. Am I happy with that? I don't know if I'm happy with that. It's fine either way. It's not a worry. We like it. Anyway, yeah. Like, did a little bit of damage to me, admittedly. And, then on my first turn, I had what I thought was a pretty decent turn. I'm not gonna lie. And then he killed me. No joke. My first turn of the game, I was dead. And there is a Herald. That was a little bit of a feels bad. Nothing against the player. The player was perfectly nice about it. Very friendly. Gave me time to go buy a sweatshirt and a t-shirt and a Stanley from the merch table. Like I said, again, the player was totally Tyler Zeringe was perfectly friendly about it. So for real, nothing against them. But it was just like, oh, that game did not last 10 minutes. So that was a pretty rough start to the day. And then over the next 2 rounds, sea legs and a copper cog, sure. I split with a pair of azaleas over the next 2 rounds. And then I played against a... Wow, why can't I remember? Oh, Dash.io. Which the player was very good and just couldn't get the engine going. So I took that one. And then I played against a Vincent. Oh my word. We got another Marvel. That is a Marvel Chowder. Goodness gracious me. What a case so far. You're going to get your own little slot up there for now. So we got that poly crankette and a chowder and a gold baited hook so far this case. That's pretty spicy. Yeah, a Vin set, which that one was interesting. I got down, I guess I shouldn't have told you my record, because if you're paying attention, you know where this is going. I got down 37 to 18. And then just kind of pivoted my strategy to staying alive ultimately. And by making that pivot, I was also able to throw some pretty decent body blows still. Midas Touch, Majestic, ooh, good pack. Midas Touch, destroy target ally. Its controller creates gold tokens equal to its cost. That's actually a pretty fair. That's pretty fair, I think. And Everbloom Life. Action card in graveyard with cost less than the total of health you've gained this turn. Put it on the bottom of its. Oh, that's grody. Okay. Did I have another foil? Huh. I guess I didn't. I either didn't get or I missed a Majestic foil in the first box. I'm not really complaining though. That was a really good box. So yeah, I was still able to dish out significant enough damage that I ended up winning. I think it was 11 with 11 health. Just turned that one around. So that felt good. To be able to just kind of take back control of that game. And get stuff done. That felt really good. But yeah, so there's a King Shark Harpoon. Sure thing. Love that. But yeah, so I ended up, once I got the hang of Puffin, like I still lost games after I got the hang of Puffin. But once I got the hang of Puffin, I really decided I like Puffin. At least enough to consider building a deck that I keep as like a backup to Dorinthia kind of thing. But yeah, and then the trip back. Hey, there's Scurv. I haven't pulled one of him yet. Very nice. The trip back was actually just. Sorry for the explosion in your ears there. There was weather at the airport back home, so we ended up doing circles for a minute. We had to go land in a different city to refuel, so we're there, and then fly back home. By that point, we land 2 hours late, and then on top of that, like the whole dealing with the fact that we were late, the airport. I mean, long story short, we were at the airport over 2 hours between waiting for luggage, getting cars back, all that stuff. It was not great. More la fe. It was just not great. But, hey, obviously, I'm home now. Could have been worse. It is a relatively small problem in the grand scheme of things. And gray bones. Alright, last pack of box 2. Another really good box, though. We got that Midas Touch. We got a Marvel. Sunken Treasure, Jittery Bones, and another Majestic Riddle with Regret. It's a Chaos action. So yeah, okay. 2 really good boxes. I guess I'll see what's in the gold pack to finalize that statement. the treasure pack, as it were. There's a... Okay, so Golden Cog or Gold. Swift Strike Bracers. Alright, we could have done without that. The common cold foils, especially, there's a lot of talk about how things could have been handled in the gold packs. I feel like the common cold foils especially should have just stayed in the box. That makes some of the treasure packs a little bit underwhelming, as it were. I did this completely by accident, but if I thought about it, I would have done it. The Puffin box will be box 4 of this opening. So we're saving the oddball for last. I just think that's cool. I didn't even notice, like I said, that up until now that there were different box arts. So yeah, we got Puffin box art. That's pretty cool. And then when I go through foils too, I'll have to go through and make sure I didn't miss a majestic foil from that first box. Golden Tipple. But again, honestly, that was a great time. If you've ever sat back and been like looking at a Calling or a Battle Hardened, oh yeah, and then after everything the first 2 days, after not doing great in the Calling, I thought about doing the Battle Hardened since it was CC. Or just doing some of the CC side events, but my family went with me, and so I was like, you know what? I have had a very good time, sincerely. I had a blast. It was exhausting. Towards the end of the days, I was really tired, especially Saturday. I had a killer headache by the end of it. Hey, there's Whaler. I very much enjoyed the weekend. I would absolutely do it again. So what I'm saying is, if you have the opportunity and are remotely interested in it, but are like nervous about it, because I was nervous as all get out going in. I'll shoot straight with you there too. If you're at all interested, but you're nervous, you're just not sure, you're like, I just don't, I'm not up to snuff. I mean, there are certain things to consider there. Like if it's a lot of travel, I understand not wanting to spend a ton of money or whatever to travel somewhere, hotel, all that stuff, that you don't think you're going to do well at, so obviously keep your finances in mind. Don't be irresponsible based on what I'm saying. But if you've got that inkling that you just think it would be fun to go, get the experience. Chart the High Seas, a foil. I got a regular one earlier. I absolutely recommend it. Like I said, it was in some ways a tough weekend. And like there's a physical and mental, tax to the whole thing. But I would 100% do it again. There is that is the final answer there. I will look for an opportunity. King Kraken Harpoon. Okay. And an Undercover Acquisition. I'm not sure I've seen this card. And a foil at that. So it's a Assassin Attack, Stealth. When this hits a hero, steal an item. That's kind of rad. Okay. And then the King Kraken Harpoon. I mean, what's not to love? So yeah, it was 100% worth the experience. Just hanging out. Having a good time. Playing cards. The whole shebang. And I would and definitely, I'll say will. I won't just say hope to. I will say will do something like that again. Cogworks Workshop. Okay. I mean, be it a Calling, be it another another nationals sometime, be it a, battle hardened worlds, whatever it may be, I will absolutely do it again. Once I give myself a minute to recover from all the travel, all the fatigue. I mean, there's a lot to it. But I will do it again. So that is my official recommendation. Is if you have any interest, do it. Heave ho. Cloud skiff. Marlin. I don't know what that voice or whatever it was. I'm obviously kind of tired today because we got up super early. I say super early. Super early for me for our flight. And then went through all the other stuff. Completely whiffed on lunchtime because of the stopover and all that stuff. So it was a long day. I'm a little weary. Barbed barrage. Let's look at that. As an additional cost to play this, you may pay 3. If you do, this attacks an additional target. That's kind of cute. So I guess the idea would be that you're attacking your opposing hero, and if they have an ally, also attacking the ally. And especially if they've got a big ally you're trying to down, that's pretty darn good. I like that a lot. Surfossi shaking. Oh, hey, adult gravy bones. I probably have missed a lot of the adult heroes. I don't know how common they are now, if they're not Majestics anymore, I guess. But I feel like I had to have missed my fair share here. Alright, so this box, most cases have their weaker entries, right? This one seems to be, with 4 packs left, the weak entry of this case. But that's not bad with that Marvel Poly, the Netling shot, the Marvel Poly, Marvel Chowder, gold baited hook. We got a whaler. We've gotten a bunch of the big harpoons. I mean, there's not a whole lot to be down about here, I don't think. But a pretty dang good case. And we still have this box's gold pack. Who knows? We could have even more crazy surprises there. Last regular pack. And we'll look for some buried treasure. Sentry. Hook. Swift shot. Alright. So nothing in the regular pack. We did get that undercover acquisition too. Alright, there's a gold and a pilfer the wreck. Alright, alright. Not too bad for one of the treasury cold foils from the regular set. Definitely goes under Poly though. Poly still takes the top slot there. But we got Chowder, we got Poly, we got gold baited hook, we got regular whaler, we got our harpoons. We need that Conqueror. That's the other thing we want to see here. From our oddball box art, we want to see that big boat. We want to see the big boat. So wish me luck as we dig in looking for said big boat. Or don't wish me luck. You might not like me and you might not want me to pull that, and that's fine too. I got myself completely confused there for a second. I apologize. That is my, once again, my bit of fatigue rearing its head. As was that. As I throw things in places they don't belong. Sometimes I don't know why y'all put up with me. And I completely just went rogue, and I think I'm grabbing from packs, my pack piles randomly at this point, which, you know what? Y'all can deal with that too, I suppose. This last box, you don't know where anything came from. I suppose you will know where the gold pack came from. Speaking of which, I've been talking a lot with people about the whole gold pack thing. What are you feeling about it? So I really, really liked the concept when they first did it with Mistvale. I still like that concept, frankly. And I still like the concept, too, of instead of the pack itself being a chase, having, you know, different cards rather than just the two versions of the same card. One of them is ridiculous. I like it, the idea of it basically being a box topper where you're getting some of the really good stuff and then give no quarter. You're getting some really good stuff and then, you know, first Majestic of this box. So I do like the concept of them being in every box. Things I don't love as much. Alright, there we go. Consigned to Cosmos and Shock. I don't as much care for the fact that, like, all of the regular cold foils are pulled out of the packs and moved there. So, like I mentioned, the common cold foil being in there. I'm like, I could do without that, right? If I open a gold pack, I don't want a common cold foil. I guess maybe you put the common cold foils there. But I feel like you should still have a shot at, like, getting the big hits in the regular packs. Getting, like, the cold foil chest piece and, you know, the dead threads, I guess, is one of the big ones in this set. So I don't know. What do you think? Talk to me in the comments. Tell me how you're feeling about the setup for the gold packs. Again, Cogwork Stuffed Tail. That was the Majestic I pulled for my sealed pool for the calling. I ended up rather liking that card. A+. No. So yeah, let me know what you think. I'm not sold one way or the other completely yet. I keep on seeing arguments one way or the other that kind of sway me a little bit. I think ultimately where I land, though, is I like the concept. I'm not 100% sold on the execution, but I like the concept. And that will probably be where I stand. It's just a matter of how much I like or don't like the concept. Return Fire. That's another fun one. When this defends, banish an arrow from your hand. If you do, at the start of your next turn, put it face up in your arsenal. It gets +3. That's kind of rad, actually. Pretty cool block right there. So we are well over halfway through this. There's a non-foil undercover acquisition. Very nice. Why do the other classes get a good Majestic here and the Warriors get what they get? Chart a course. That's just me being whiny again. I wouldn't be nearly as whiny if it weren't for the travel issues. Oh my word, okay. So we get another legendary, a regular rainbow foil Polycranka. Well, that's pretty spicy. I'm in. Okay, yeah, no, this went from, this was a pretty good case, to this was definitely a good case. 2 legendaries, 2 marbles, some really solid Majestics. I am happy with this one, especially for a first Blood in the Water, okay. Sirens of Safe Harbor. For a first case, this one is not half bad. This is a pretty good one for a first. I do have another one already on hand. We'll see if we open that one immediately or not. And then I've got several more still on the way. That will be along. There may not be much of a break for y'all. I've been thinking about going down to just 1 video a week, in which case there would definitely not be an obvious slowdown for y'all. So that's one thing I'm thinking about. Calling the big guns. So we'll see how that goes. I'll probably do Tuesday if I do that, and then every now and then I'll throw a Wednesday one out there, especially if there's something critical role. That I can make dumb jokes about it being Thursday yet. Tough old wrench. Alright, that was the regular packs. We've got 1 treasure pack left with a golden cog and a Swiftwater sloop. Alright. We are happy with that. That ain't too bad at all. So we did clearly get 1 really big treasure pack hit with the... Is this still technically a marble? It's got the triangle symbol, so I'm gonna call it a marble until somebody tells me not to. So we got the marble poly. We got 2 cogs. 2 golds. A Swiftwater sloop and a pilfer. Oh yeah, and the Swift Stripe racers. I was about to say, what am I missing here? We got the common cold foil. I'm like, did I put them in the wrong thing? But then we got that Marvel Chowder too. He is, in fact, a hearty cook. We got a gold baited hook and a rainbow foil Polycranka. So crankas for days. We got undercover acquisition, chart the seas, Midas touch. So we do seem light on Majestics, which is foil Majestics, which is fascinating. Whaler, King Kraken, Palantir, chart, Ruby Amulet, Trophy Shot, King Shark Harpoon. So we got great harpoons. Moray LaFay, who had... Oh, the counter. Yeah, that's actually pretty good. Okay, I was about to say, I don't know how I'm feeling. Sunken Treasure. I really like this Barbed Barrage. Give no quarter. Dovetail. just a general, this feels like just a really good case. I'm super happy with this for a first case of this new set. I hope you had fun digging through it with me too, especially since I didn't bore you with all the commons to start right off the bat. In any case, thank you so much for spending some of your day with me. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you are opening up good stuff too. Tell me how you're feeling about the set. Tell me if you were at Nationals and how you felt about the whole thing, or even the calling or any of the other events that were there. Talk to me. I would love to hear it. In any case, have a great rest of your day, and bye.